Ladies and gentlemen, Christoph the Polish Geek is back with another review for you, and this time it's a review of the show Shogun. Actually, more specifically, a review of the first 5 episodes, because the show isn't over. There are still like 5 more episodes to go, because so far this show is simply fabulous. It's excellent. It's a really great watch, and I'm really looking forward to more what happens. It will not be like very long review because, as I said, it's only first 5 episodes, so I will actually do the much longer review when the show actually ends. But again, it's great so far, and I will have to tell you what I overall love about this great historical epic, because in general I really love historical epics, and I've been hearing nothing but really great things about Shogun, so I decided to give it a try, and I actually binged the first 4 episodes immediately, and they were literally excellent, and I was so hooked in. And then 5th episode came out, and I'm just so invested in this show right now. And I know also it's actually based on a book that I haven't read, and apparently there was even a miniseries in the 80s that I haven't seen either, but again, as of now, I really love Shogun. The story takes place in feudal Japan, and I really love the setting of feudal Japan, even though, admittedly, I actually don't know much about feudal Japan, so learning at least a little bit of it is already really interesting, and I really love the recreation of this feudal Japan world, from rich tapestry and ornate costumes, and the attention to detail here is simply excellent, and I really love the world of samurai, shogun, and overall political maneuvering. The politics here is simply so interesting. Kind of like in Game of Thrones actually, but more historically accurate. The main character is actually this Englishman, John Blackthorne, whose ship washes ashore into feudal Japan, and then John Blackthorne gets basically, kind of like the audience, thrown into the world of feudal Japan, and he has to try to find a communicative language with the Japanese, and he learns, adapts into Japanese culture, and this is a really intriguing and interesting watch. But what also adds some complexities into the whole thing, and that's actually one of my favorite parts about the show, is that there are also Portuguese Roman Catholics in there who basically try to convert Japan into Roman Catholicism, and of course, because John Blackthorne is a Protestant, and in those times the conflict between Catholics and Protestants was huge, to say the least, that adds a lot of complexities into the conflict, which is also pretty interesting, because for the Japanese actually, there is not much differences between Catholics and Protestants. What they just see is that it's practically the same religion with different branches, and they both believe in Jesus Christ, but because of the gigantic conflict back in Europe between Catholics and Protestants, for John and the Portuguese, this is a really gigantic conflict. And that's actually one of my favorite things about this show, actually. I'm a Roman Catholic myself, although I don't discuss religion on this channel usually, but I've always been really interested in the history of religion, including Christianity, and the whole conflict and history between Catholics and Protestants was always one of those things I was really loved always learn about. So seeing it here in this show is really great, and the fact that this conflict is transported from Europe all the way to Japan, where Christianity isn't particularly prominent, makes it all the more interesting. But of course, beyond the conflict between English Protestant and Portuguese Catholics, there is also a huge conflict within the Japanese politics, because there are 5 different regions who are all competing for power, and the Portuguese Catholics kind of try to influence it from the outside. Kind of similar with John Blackthorne, who is more like trying to assimilate into Japanese culture and willing to learn it. And in addition to having a great story and really compelling characters and interesting political intrigue, the show also explores some deeper themes like honor, loyalty, as well as cultural clash, and it kind of also explores a deep history of complex relations between Europe and Asia, and this is all really interesting, and I'm really love watching it, and also makes me now want to read more about it, because I in general love history. The show really gives a very thought-provoking commentary on traditional culture being influenced by a completely foreign culture that's so different from it, and also the fact that those different cultures are bringing their own conflicts in there, like the aforementioned conflict between Catholics and Protestants, adds so much more layer and all the more complexities into it all. And another thing I really love about the show is that the cinematography is excellent, as are the visuals and landscapes. You probably already know that I may have huge weakness for amazing visuals, and this show has a really amazing visuals and beautiful landscapes. And it isn't even over yet, because there are 5 more episodes left. So for now, I think Shogun is an excellent show, and I'm really hooked and invested in it, and I really want to know where this is going. And when the show ends, I'm totally reviewing it fully. But for now, Shogun, great show, strongly recommend it. Can't wait to see where this is going, and when it ends, I'm totally giving it a full, longer, extended review. And thank you guys for checking out this video. Press the like button, please subscribe to this channel. Do you watch Shogun? And talk to you later. Bye!